You get home after a long day, open the door, and there is your furry friend waiting for you. But before jumping up to greet you or running to find a toy, they do something very specific. They plant their front paws firmly on the ground, leave their back end up high, raise their tail, and take a deep, long stretch while looking directly into your eyes. You've probably seen this hundreds of times, and you've likely thought they are simply stretching their muscles after a good nap on the couch. But the reality is much deeper. There is a hidden message, a primitive instinct in this gesture that 90% of dog owners completely overlook and misunderstand. Have you ever wondered what is really behind this action? Your dog is trying to communicate something crucial about how they perceive you and what their mental state is in that exact second. Today, we are going to decode exactly what that welcome stretch means. But we won't stop there. We are going to analyze it alongside 9 other unusual, sometimes funny, and sometimes baffling behaviors that your dog does every single day, which hide fascinating secrets of canine psychology. Make sure to stick around until the end, because I guarantee that behavior number 10 will completely change the way you look at your pet's loyalty. Let's get started. Number 1, the foot licker. It might tickle you, or you might find it a bit uncomfortable when you're walking around barefoot. But for your dog, your feet are an absolute goldmine of information. Dogs experience the world primarily through smell and taste. Human feet have a high concentration of sweat glands that release your unique pheromones. By licking your feet, your dog is literally reading your mood, figuring out where you have been during the day, and absorbing your essence. Furthermore, in pack dynamics, grooming another member is a display of submission, respect, and deep affection. So, in their own weird way, they are telling you that they respect you as the leader of their family. Number 2, the bathroom bodyguard. You go into the bathroom looking for a moment of peace and privacy. You close the door, and suddenly, you hear scratching. Or worse, they come in with you and sit there staring at you while you do your business. Why do they become your shadow in the bathroom? To understand this, we have to look at their ancestors, the wolves. In the wild, the moment an animal is relieving itself is when it is most vulnerable to predator attacks. Your dog follows you because they understand that you are a pack. By sitting in front of you, they are watching your back to make sure nothing attacks you while you are in a defenseless position. They are protecting you just as they expect you to protect them. Number 3, the head tilt. It is one of the most adorable gestures they make. You speak to them with that special high-pitched dog voice, and suddenly they tilt their head with an expression of absolute curiosity. While we love it because they look incredibly cute, there is some fascinating science behind this. Dogs tilt their heads to adjust their ear flaps, allowing them to pinpoint with millimeter precision exactly where a sound is coming from. Not just horizontally, but vertically too. Additionally, a dog's snout often blocks the lower part of their vision. By tilting their head, they move their snout out of their line of sight so they can better read your facial expressions, especially your mouth, and thus understand your emotional state. It is pure empathy in action. Number 4, the deep sigh. You're relaxing in the living room, and suddenly your dog drops heavily onto the floor, rests their head on their paws, and lets out a long, loud sigh, almost as if they had to pay taxes. This behavior depends entirely on the context and their eyes. If they let out that sigh and their eyes are half closed or close completely, it is a sign of pure relaxation. They are indicating that they are content and ready to rest. However, if they sigh but keep their eyes wide open looking at you, it is a sign of disappointment or frustration. It is the canine equivalent of saying, "Well, I guess we aren't going outside to play fetch after all." Number 5, the welcome stretch. Let's go back to the mystery we opened this video with. That stretch when you get home is not to loosen up their joints. In canine body language, this is known as the play bow. It is an official, enthusiastic, and peaceful invitation to interact. Your dog is telling you, "I am so happy to see you, and I want you to know that whatever I do next, whether it's jumping, running, or biting a toy, is in the spirit of play and pure love, not aggression." It is an appeasement signal they use to release the tension built up from the excitement of your return. Basically, it is the highest compliment and the warmest welcome they can give you. Number 6. The sock thief. Do your socks or underwear often disappear, only to mysteriously turn up in your dog's bed? At first glance, it seems like an annoying prank, but it has a very sweet underlying reason. Dogs love objects that smell strongly of you, and nothing retains your scent better than clothing that has been in direct contact with your skin. When you're not home, or when they feel lonely, stealing your socks is like giving themselves an olfactory hug. It comforts them and reduces their separation anxiety. Plus, they are very smart. They know perfectly well that taking your sock is the fastest way to get you out of your chair and start a fun game of chase around the house. Number 7. The back turn. Imagine you sit on the floor with your dog, and they decide to turn around and sit with their back to you. In the human world, this might be considered rude or a sign that you're being ignored. But in the dog world, it is exactly the opposite. Turning their back on someone is the ultimate show of trust. In the wild, an animal would never turn its back on a threat or someone they distrust. By sitting like this with you, your dog is telling you that they feel completely safe by your side. They know you won't attack them from behind, and they trust you to watch their rear while they keep an eye on what's going on in front. Number 8. The toy gift. You're busy working or watching TV, and your dog comes over wagging their tail, bringing you their most drooled-on, destroyed toy, and gently drops it in your lap. The instinctive reaction is to throw it to play fetch. But sometimes you'll notice they don't run after it. Instead, they just stand there looking at you. This is because they don't always want to play. Often, they are presenting you with their most prized possession as a gift. To them, that toy is a high-value resource, and by handing it over, they are paying homage to you as the pack leader. They also do this if they notice you are sad or stressed. They believe that just as they love that toy, it will also make you immensely happy and lift your spirits. Number 9. The protective sleep. When it's time for bed, does your dog insist on lying right up against your legs? Or do they position themselves so their back is directly touching your back? This is the protective sleep, a direct survival instinct inherited from their wild ancestors. In a wolf pack, sleeping back to back or pressed up against each other serves two vital purposes: sharing body heat on cold nights and doubling the field of vision to alert each other of any danger. If your dog chooses to sleep like this with you, they are showing that they consider you their most intimate family. You are their safe space, and they are taking on the role of being your personal security alarm while you rest. Number 10. The doorway blocker. We've reached the end, and this one is a classic. Why does your dog always seem to choose the worst possible place to lie down and sleep? Right in the middle of the hallway, in the threshold of the kitchen door, or at the bottom of the stairs, where everyone in the house has to dodge them or trip over them. They don't do it out of stubbornness or to be annoying. They do it to have strategic control of the territory. From a doorway, a dog can easily monitor who enters and who leaves a room. They are acting as the guardian of the flock. It is their tactical guard post to watch over the whole family and ensure the pack stays together and safe from any intruders. Their apparent laziness is, in reality, a full-time security job. Your dog does absolutely nothing by chance. Every little gesture, look, and position is a word in their own language, a language of unconditional loyalty. How many of these behaviors does your dog do every day? Let me know in the comments which one surprised you the most, or if your dog does something even weirder that we didn't mention on this list. If you learned something new today and want to keep discovering the fascinating secrets of your best friend's mind, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss our next video.